Hi guys, hope everybody's having a good day. So the past couple days that you've been working online, you have been working in Tinkercad. We are going to take a little break from that program today and we're going to be doing some sketches on paper. Okay, any normal school year, if you guys were here 5 days a week, I would have you design a set of front wheels for your car using the program that we have here in school called Inventor. And then we would actually 3D print the wheels out and you would use them as the front wheels on your race car. Okay, we are not going to be able to use Inventor this year. Remember, we're substituting that with our Tinkercad program. And unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to actually 3D print and use the wheels, but I am still going to have you design a front set of wheels for your car. So what you're going to be doing today is coming up with 3 different ideas for what you want your wheels to look like, and you're going to be sketching those out onto paper. So you're going to need a couple materials for today. You're going to need a blank piece of paper. You can even just use the back of an old worksheet. Just try to find something that doesn't have lines on it. You're going to need a pencil. You are going to need a coffee mug. And you're going to need maybe some kind of colored pencils or crayons or markers or even highlighters. Anything like that would work well. Okay. First thing you're going to do is take your coffee mug and your piece of paper. You are going to trace either the top or the bottom of the coffee mug onto your paper 3 times so that you have 3 decent sized circles. Okay. That's where you will be drawing out your 3 different wheel designs. Okay. There are a couple different requirements for this project. Okay, 3 of the big requirements we're going to talk about first. So when you design your wheel, you have to have at least one shape that is cut the entire way through the wheel. Okay, so my sample wheel here, this person chose to cut out these kind of like leaf shapes. They did 4 of those, and then they did 2 triangles between each one. So those would be the shapes that are cut the whole entire way through. The second requirement is that you have to have at least one shape that is engraved into your wheel. So when I say the word engraved, that means that that shape is going to be cut halfway or partially through the wheel. So on this particular wheel, this person chose to do a teardrop shape. There's one here and one here, so you can see what that looks like. The last requirement that you need to have is you have to add text to your wheel. Okay, you do want to keep the text minimal because the wheels are pretty small. We don't have a whole lot of space. I would keep it to maybe 1 or 2 letters or numbers. So you could maybe do your initials, or if there's a sports number that you always use, you could add something like that. Or you could even use some of the things on the keyboard. You could do stars or a smiley face. Whatever you want is fine, just keep it minimal. So this person chose to do their initials, so they did a letter P here and a letter T here. Okay, those are the 3 biggest requirements. Once we start working in Tinkercad, we'll talk about the diameter and the width and all of the specific measurements that you have to follow, but those are the 3 big things to keep in mind for your sketches today. Okay, as you are sketching, I don't want to see anything too simple. Like these sample wheels are really simple. So these people just chose to cut out 1 single shape. They did 1 engraving and they did their text. Okay, these are a little too simple. I would like to see a design that's maybe a little bit more in depth, where you're cutting out multiple shapes, you're engraving multiple shapes, and then you have your text. Okay, so these are much better examples just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking for. Okay, you can start thinking about what you want to do, and then when you're ready, you can start drawing out your designs on paper. Okay, so here I have my circle. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is draw all of the shapes that I'm cutting out. And you want to start by just drawing everything in pencil first. So I am going to model my drawing after this wheel right here. Okay. So I'm going to start by drawing those leaf shapes. Okay, I'm going to have 4 of those. These drawings don't have to be perfect, but you do want to try to evenly space things the best that you can. Okay. Once I have the leaf shapes drawn, then I can go back and I can draw those triangles in between. So I have my first set here. Second set. Third set. And the last one. Okay, once I have all of those shapes drawn, I'm going to pick a color and I'm going to color them all in. So I'm going to use, we'll say green. So all of my shapes that are cut the entire way through the wheel, I would color in green. And they don't have to be colored in perfectly. You can just like lightly shade them in. This is just so that I know what shapes are cut out and which shapes are engraved. Okay, once I have those drawn, the second thing I would want to do is add in any shapes that I'm engraving. Okay, so I'm gonna add in those two teardrop shapes. I'm gonna do one at the top, one at the bottom here. Okay, remember you'd wanna draw those in pencil first. And then you would go back and you would color them in. So I'm gonna choose a different color. I'm gonna use pink. So pink is going to represent any shape that is engraved. Okay, the last thing that you want on your wheel is text. So like I said, maybe your initials or numbers. This person chose to do their initials here and here. So I would add that into my design. And I'm just gonna put my own initials on here. So I'll do a V and an R, and you're gonna choose a separate color for that. Okay, I do want you to make a key in the top right-hand corner of your paper, so it's gonna look like this. That way I know what shapes are cut out, what shapes are engraved, and what color the text is. So for me, my key would look like this. I would say green is cut, pink is engraved, and then blue would be my text. Okay, so you're gonna come up with 3 different design ideas. I posted a couple sample pictures so that you can see what I'm looking for, but they're gonna look kind of similar to this. Okay, a couple things to keep in mind. We are designing a wheel, okay? The wheel has to rotate, so you want the weight to be evenly balanced. That means you should kind of pick a design and then you want to replicate or duplicate that design the entire way around. So this person chose to do, like I said, that leaf shape with the triangle on each side. They did that design and they replicated it 4 times. Okay, you could do that 3 times or 5 times or 6 times. And I'll show you some examples of that. Like this person did their design and they replicated it 3 times. This person chose to do a design and they replicated it 6 times. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be 4. Okay, you can also even do something like these wheels where you just replicate it twice. Okay, I really like this one. I think this is awesome, the little SpongeBob wheel. And then we have a spider for that one. So you could even break it up half and half if you wanted to. Okay, so just take your time. You do need to leave a little bit of space right in the center because you're gonna have your axle hole and you're gonna have that little piece that sticks up out of the center. That's called the axle stabilizer. So we do need to leave a little bit of space for that right through the middle. Okay, you also want to make sure that your wheel is held together. So we need to leave a solid ring of material around the outer edge, and we have to make sure that we have material that connects the outside edge down to the center. So we need at least a couple pieces to hold everything together. So basically when you're looking at your wheel, anything that is left over in white Mine would be gray because I'm drawing on a white background. But anything that's left over in white would be the solid pieces of material. Okay, so you need 3 of these. Make sure you get those done. When you're finished, you're gonna take a picture of your piece of paper. You're gonna upload it into Google Classroom. And I'd also like you to either leave me a note and tell me which one you wanna use, or you could just simply circle it on your paper before you take the picture. But make sure I know which one to look at. You'll need to get that approved before you start designing it in Tinkercad. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Try to have a little bit of fun with this and try to be creative. Okay, I will see you guys later.